There we go. So what character do you play?
I play a lot of different characters, but I've been playing recently a lot of Chrom and
Chrom? Okay.
Yeah, Chrom, mostly Chrom. Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you feel there's a specific, like, I guess, weakness in your play that you really want to try and fix or anything like that? Or are you just looking to get better overall and just generally increase your skill?
Yeah, I think mostly just generally, I guess I want to get better at leg trapping and Chrom because
Okay.
I'm probably supposed to be good at it, but I'm not
Got
that
you,
good at it.
I will do what I can to point out anything.
But mostly just like fundamentals, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm gonna send you the room information on Discord real quick for you to join up. Do you want me to play Olimar, or how much experience do you have in that matchup?
0.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I actually am going to start out with a character that's not Olimar just because I want to fight you with maybe someone like Lucina or someone a bit more general so I can get an idea of how you're handling that type of stuff, and then from there we can go into Olimar. Just him as a character, if you're not super familiar with how he operates, then you're just getting caught with all these mix-ups and things that you just don't know, and you spend a lot of the time trying to figure out what's even happening as opposed to fighting him. So I'll definitely give you some games for that later on in the session, but just to start to get a good gauge of everything, I'll start with like Lucina.
Okay.
And then I have my random switch set on this rule set just to like most of the legal tournament stages, the Yoshi stuff, Kalos, Lilat. There's just a variety of stages that are ran most places, but you can also choose if you have a specific stage in mind.
Okay, no, that's what I usually do. I just have the random.
Sounds good, sounds good. That's the Chrom struggle.
Oh, yeah.
No worries, man. Obviously that was one game, so I don't want to just like start spinning things that, you know, stuff happens. The biggest thing I felt like was just from that little interaction, especially in the beginning, you were kind of hesitant to start pressuring like hard, because Chrom, at least the way I view him, you know, I'm not a Chrom player, so I don't have the most specific insight, but it's like he's that type of character who's very high pressure due to his movement speed and his solid shield pressure with things like jab, down tilt, his aerials. So, and I know Lucina is one of those characters with a solid out of shield game as well, but I would say trying to abuse that speed in those like large hitboxes to try and get in. You don't want to like let me set the pace of the match that much when you're the one who's got that higher speed stat. Did you try to air dodge the ledge?
Yeah.
Makes sense. That definitely started out better. I think you're getting a bit more comfortable just like, you know, throwing out your attacks and trying to like play that more back and forth neutral game with me. I definitely see what you mean though when you were like, you know, maybe speaking to your edge trapping. Because I feel like when I was off stage, I was at the ledge or something like that, you were kind of passive. And you didn't press that advantage too much. And granted, I wasn't off stage too much that game, but you just kind of seemed like you were waiting for me to get back on stage and go from there. So I'll try and pay more attention to that and see how things are going, so you can see what I can let you know. Oh god. No! My jump! Okay. I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple next time. That's unfortunate. Managed to catch you with the jab just in time. I think another thing I was noticing as well is I feel like when I'm at that kill percent, you're not necessarily hesitating to throw out your attacks, but you're like, it feels like at times we'll be in an interaction, be in a scuffle, and then you'll win that interaction, but you're waiting for like a visual cue to be like, okay, oh, you know, he whiffed an attack, so then I'll go for like a forward tilt to try and kill him or something like that. But the problem with that is, and this is the type of game with input buffer, especially on Wi-Fi, where when you're trying to visually react to something, like raw reaction, a lot of times you're going to be too slow. So it's kind of like when we're in that scuffle, prepare yourself to I don't want to say assume, because you don't always want to just assume you'll win, but be like, okay, we're in this position, I think he might attack or something, I will plan accordingly so that I try and dodge his attack, and then the moment I see the attack is dodged, or I see that I'm in a position where it shouldn't work, I can be ready to throw out my forward tilt, you know? So like there's that gap between us where like a grab would whiff, so then you can be ready to go for the forward tilt, so you don't have to just wait for the grab or register what happened, you know? So you're kind of getting like an early game sense of what's going to happen, so that you can have your options kind of queued up almost.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Let me check. Oh, I didn't think we were going to make that. you gotta watch your, I think a big thing for you as well is trying to not instinctively buffer like a defensive option right after something happens, like a spot dodge or an air dodge or something. Because especially with a character like Chrom or Ike, your recovery is a bit linear in the sense that like if one bad thing can happen like that, you know, you can lose a stock, or if I catch you right as you jump, you don't have the luxury of having super versatile recovery in that regard. So, like, I'm not sure how you're approaching when we're in neutral, if you're able to really evaluate what's happening in the moment, or if it's kind of like a instinctive, like, I got hit, I need to press a button type of response. If not, that's definitely something you're going to work on to have that awareness. I don't want to, it's not like an autopilot, but it's kind of like a flinch response. It's something you have to fight off so that you're very much deliberately picking each option.
Okay.
And there are times where you're just going to have to, you know, fight that response and go, oh no, I'm, you know, like I'm in a Mario combo, I better just, you know, air dodge out of that in some instances. But generally it's like every button you press, you want to be very deliberate so that you're not burning excess inputs or doing anything bad like that and then costing your, you know, an entire stock at 30% because you were so scared of like getting comboed by a combo that may not even have existed.
Okay. Yeah. I do tend to hold. The only times where like I actively think about it is if I'm like getting juggled.
Yeah.
And then I'll like mix up if I'm air dodging or if I'm gonna like
Okay.
fast fall. But
Yeah,
that's
you want
kind
to. That's the same mentality you want to have for like when you're getting, you know, knocked away horizontally or things like that, so that you're not just always doing the same thing. It's rough. I'm gonna try a character that's not Lucina, just because I feel like I'm cheesing you very efficiently with on those stocks, and I want to see how you're recovering against characters that don't have one button that does it all.
Okay. I find that matchup super hard.
Yeah, I can definitely see why. You know, she matches your range. She's got really good edge guarding capabilities and things like that, and that counter just does so much for her. But yeah, if you have any like specific questions or things you wanted to ask, don't hesitate to shoot them my way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting hit a lot, but like when you just throw out your side Bs, and I feel like I'm getting hit a lot by them when I shouldn't. Shouldn't be, or I should. Do you like? Is there something that I'm doing that makes it easy for me to get hit by that?
For me, the way I'm approaching it is like, I look at my neutral game in kind of like increments in terms of distance, where like I will notice that we're so and so far apart. And for me, I like to go, all right, we're this far apart. I will try something like a dancing blade. Reason being, a lot of times players will instinctively spot dodge the moment they see an attack animation start, or what is it? Like when something happens, they almost flinch, and it's that fight or flight response that they have where they feel they need to do something that you can even punish. And since it has like a variable mix-up in how you can time it, you know, maybe I'll have you shield it, but then I'll slow down in between 2 and 3 to have you dry and drop shield or things like that. For me, it's one of those things that if you're just know to shield it, it can become a lot less valuable. So either using your grounded movement to maybe like foxtrot in and out or dash in and out, things like that, you can, you know, make it look like I'm in that range to where I can hit you, and then you dip out real quick, you know, and go, oh nope, juked you, and then maybe you come in with your own forward air or something like that, or run in tilt to try and catch me, or you're confident that you can hold shield, you know, you hold the shield for the whole dancing blade, and then you punish me with an up out of shield or something like that.
Okay.
But I'm very much trying to pay attention to like the distance between us and just generally how passive you are in neutral. If you're swinging a lot, I'm not going to come hit you most of the time unless it's these whiff punishes, because I can't just run in or I'll lose.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh yeah, that was fun. Oh.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Fighting it with Sheik, definitely a couple things I noticed. Especially because Sheik's that high-speed character, I'm trying to like just hit you with a lot of light hits and carry you across. You definitely are generally passive. I noticed you don't like to press a lot of buttons, and I don't want what I said earlier, where I was like, don't instinctually pick a defensive option to deter you from playing your general game plan. Like if you feel inclined to press a button, definitely do it. Just when I'm hitting you, don't panic mash, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So a couple when you were at the ledge, I felt like you were trying to do regular get up a lot, and that was making it easier for me to choose like a lingering option like neutral air, catch your get up, weak hit you, knock you back off, rinse, repeat. If you notice I'm doing that, you could get up attack the timing, because it's going to be invincible from ledge on your end. You could roll, you know, and maybe you run the risk of getting hit again, but it might hit you the other way, and then, you know, you have the possibility to get out because there's all that stage to work with. You could even stay on ledge if you feel like they don't have a super strong option at the ledge to like hit you while you're hanging. So things like that, you could try and, you know, just mix up the options, even like delay your timings and things like that. That can go a long way for really mixing it up. But yeah, I think in the neutral game, in that normal gameplay that we're going back and forth, I'm finding it easy just to throw a lot of buttons around you, and you're not necessarily swatting away. And I think if you don't want to attack, that's where you really need to try and incorporate that movement in, because you have these disjoints and you have high speed, so you're able to kind of like get in and out immediately, but also generate this like moving wall that's really strong with things like forward air, F tilt, jab, back air. And you need to stop me from being on top of you, because realistically my range can be worse than yours in a lot of cases, so I need to incorporate parries or shielding or whatever it is on my part to deal with your sword.
Okay. I just find it hard to keep you out once you've gotten in, I think, and
it's
not sure how to, like,
one of those things where you're just going to have to accept that you're like, you got hit by Sheik, so you're going to take a combo.
Okay.
Oh my god, that'd be so crazy on slams. You were definitely doing better. Kind of just being like, you're around me, get away from me. And those attacks to swat me away. I thought that was pretty good, so you don't be running this freely. Your your like ledge trapping was definitely a bit linear. You were just like down tilt, things like that. Remember things like Crom's jab, and I know it's a little different on slants. Like Crom's jab, I believe can hit ledge / 2-frame, so that's something you can use at the ledge, and that's nice because that pops up for like the back air or the forward air as a kill confirm. You can also kind of just like wait and shield because I can't grab you. So if you feel like maybe you want to run up to the ledge and shield or something like that, if you feel like using that movement to run up and bait me into committing to something, and then use your shield to deal with whatever attack I throw out or option and then react, that can definitely help. There we go. That was good. That was good. Are there any specific characters that you find that you struggle with, aside from like Lucina, obviously, for being a potentially hard matchup? Or if not a specific character, maybe like a character archetype that might give you more trouble.
Yeah, zoners for sure.
Okay.
I feel like I always have to like be approaching.
Yeah.
Or I feel pressure to approach because you know they're just shooting at me. And
no,
then,
that makes sense.
And then I hit their shield and they like up smash me and I die.
Okay.
So.
Are you familiar with like frame data and how safe things are on shield and things like that?
Yeah, I am, but I'm kind of bad at like
understanding
spacing my stuff.
Okay.
Or, yeah. Like I know like falling up air is like really good because
yeah,
it's only like -4 or something, but I can never
like really get the timing down for it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple ways you can look at it. If you're struggling to do the aerials, then things like spaced jab, spaced down tilt, those are going to be pretty safe. Not only, they might not be as safe in terms of raw numbers, but the distance that is between you and them is a lot easier to do. It's like easier to run up and just down tilt someone than properly time the fall speed on your, like an up air or something like that. So that's something that can definitely help you. But they can be frustrating, just like throwing out a lot of projectiles. Most projectiles in this game, unless they're transcendent, like a Mega Man forward smash, or they're like explosive, like a Link bomb, generally they will lose to like a project or like an attack on your own. Say, like young Link throws his boomerang at you, your fair would go through that. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, because it's like it's hitting it. Or like when Olimar throws a Pikmin, it's gonna hit it. And that's just gonna go through it. So using that high speed to get in and out is gonna help you a lot, and then just try and use like maybe parries or regular shields, just gradually working your way forward and just being careful of what you're hitting them with.
Okay.
I do that sometimes too. I remapped one of my D-pad inputs to that.
I need to like remap the up taunt because that happens.
Yep,
sometimes.
that's exactly what I did to mine. In tournament before, it's very annoying.
Oh.
So when you're fighting a character like Young Link or Mario, Sheik, whatever it is, even some other non-traditional like characters, even like a Chrom or Roy, they tend to just have no lag on a lot of things. So you'll see, like, I'll do something and then I'll immediately parry your response and then get a punish off it. So that's one of those instances where you have to go like, okay, I think, you know, he just back aired me. I'm not going to be able to punish this probably. Maybe I'll go for a grab. You know, if he's going to shield, it's going to work. Or maybe I'll get out of there. Or maybe I'll delay my timing. You can definitely go for the immediate punish if you think he might go for something like an attack that could be slow. But you also want to respect the fact that he just has really safe buttons.
3,
Okay.
2, 1, go!
Said you had trouble approaching, so I'm going to make it hard. I felt like you were getting a bit more comfortable as that set went on. Like that first stock, you were kind of just like, I don't know how to get past him shooting arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is one of the Young Link's arrows are a special breed of annoying because they're so lagless, they're so fast. But in that example, you know, you had the battlefield platform there to assist you. So yeah, I am shooting these arrows at this really specific spot, and I could jump and do them. But you can also incorporate that platform into your own movement. Maybe you run as I'm shooting an arrow, you jump up onto the platform, and then maybe do an immediate drop to the platform forward air because I'm near it. That catches me if, you know, I try and jump or if I stay there, and it allows an element of change that isn't just running straight at me. Whereas somewhere on like FD, okay, there's no platform, but now you have all this room to work with, so you can jump much higher, and I don't have a good way to catch it. If I do, it's very obvious.
I see.
So use that verticality to your advantage, and conjunction with things like your high, ground speed and your disjointed aerials and your ability to parry. I really do think parrying is a very fundamentally good thing to handle projectiles in this game. So it's definitely something to work on as well.
Go!
Now you're dead.
How about this? Sorry.
There's like not any. I feel weird because there's not like a secret. I feel bad there's not like a really specific trick that I can tell you just to be able to deal with these things. But yeah. I think how well would you say you are at like keeping track of projectiles or predicting where they'll be when you're fighting someone like a Zoner, like a Young Link or something?
Not good. I think one of my biggest weaknesses is like predicting where they're gonna go, or like envisioning like ahead of time where they're gonna be. Cause like to space my like aerials properly, I need to be like, like by the time I land, they're gonna be here.
Yeah.
So I should be like here and not like where they currently are. And I just have trouble like envisioning that and like landing at the perfect or the right place to land my aerials and be safe.
Okay, I definitely see what you're saying. That is one of those things that I can give you some advice on how to do it now, but it is a skill you're going to train and refine over time. But when you're fighting any specific character, you want to have like an idea of how their moves work, how Link can throw his boomerang, how his arrows can go, and while you're moving in, be ready to immediately adjust. Think of imagine like a fish swimming down a stream. There's all these rocks that come up, but they're always going straight, so they immediately see a rock and they just jut. And you kind of want to be ready for that, where you're going in, you're running in, or doing whatever you need, but you're ready for something to randomly pop out of nowhere, so to speak, so you can change up. You're not so dead set on running forward that you just ignore everything else. You're running, but you're ready for like a jump scare to happen almost, and you know that they can happen. You know what the tools available are. You fight a Young Link, you know he's got a bomb or a boom or a boomerang or a bow. You fight like a hero, you know that he has his side B. That's not necessarily a projectile, but it's that good burst option that can just stop you. So when you're at certain spacings and things like that, you go, okay, I'm running forward, but now I'm ready to just get out of there in a moment's notice, or change up my aerial approach or something like that. And that's one of those skills you're going to refine over time. And it is definitely difficult to learn to visualize things like that, but it'll come with time. I'm gonna try some Olimar now, just to see how you handle that and give you a bit like, this is like the premier zoner that I play, obviously, so I can give you some of that.
Sure.
Oh no, snapback.
Oh my god. I meant to jump off the edge and do an aerial on stage.
Gotcha. I will, yeah. Is there anything specific you want to know about Olimar, just that might help you kind of understand things more? Because he is one of those characters that you just have to play against to really understand how things work. The general things are my smash attacks, so they're technically projectiles, so they clank with attacks like aerials. So if you see me smash attacking, you can just like forward air through it. It's going to win. My purple side B is the same thing. My grabs tend to have a lot of lag, so you can whiff punish those pretty well if I miss. And really, you just want to try and exploit me when I'm in the air or off stage, since that's my worst spot. That's my disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just, like, I've never played against Olimar before, so I just...
No, for sure.
One, go! How about this?
Oh, that was good. Oh, honestly, you would have had that if you're a little bit faster. You hesitated on your button press. Something I do I feel like you could be doing against Olimar specifically is his smash attacks. So his safest smash attack is purple up smash, and it's -8. However, his smash attacks function differently than standard attacks, in that they actually stale a lot more. When they stale, they get a lot less safe. So like when I up smash once, it's -8. When I up smash again, it's -10.
Is he the only person who's like he gets more end lag with
it's not
staleness?
it's not in lag. It's just it gets that much weaker on shield in terms of the shield stun.
Oh, okay, I see.
And that's because it's like a projectile. It's a really weird thing. I don't know why it does it. Because every move gets less safe when it stales. It's just by a much smaller margin. You need to do with the move a lot more to lose that safeness.
Okay, I see.
So against Chrom, if I up smash your shield with a purple once, you know, if I do anything but shield, you cannot beat me. If I up smash it a second time, you cannot beat me out of shield. Guaranteed punish.
Okay.
So that's a good way to be able to try and punish things like that. But just being a bit more decisive with your attacks, just knowing, like I was saying earlier, how you have that general game sense, so you're committing the moment that opening's there, not necessarily waiting and reacting.
Got it.
And that's something you can really extrapolate when you play from Wi-Fi practice, is just that ability to preemptively do things, so that you're a lot more ahead of the curve. My Pikmin are down. Oh my god. So another thing to keep in mind with Olimar is his Pikmin, when they're like latched onto you, when they tick, they actually cause a little bit of hit lag. 2 to 3 frames. I don't remember the exact number to one of those. but they also call shield stun. So they can actually make certain things safer because they add a little bit extra shield stun, or they can throw off buffer timings, things like that. So when you have a Pikmin on you like that, when I'm hitting your shield, like my things, like my jab is -8, it's now a bit safer, and I'm able to get out of there easier because the Pikmin ticks and things like that. So you want to be careful on when you're being out of shield. It's definitely a good option to do against Olimar though because the range is so good.
I see. How important is it for me to like aerial to get the stuff off?
It's one of those things that you kind of have to play it by ear. Like, you definitely don't want to leave Pikmin on you all the time, but sometimes you gotta go, okay, if I attack this, is he gonna be able to come hit me?
Right.
And like, so gauging the distance between us, things like that, where you are, what kind of Pikmin it is, you know, a white's gonna do way more damage than any of the other colors on you.
Right.
So you want to prioritize certain things like that, and just generally like going, okay, can I risk attacking this Pikmin now, or if I do get it off, you know, what's the worst that's gonna happen to me? But it's definitely something you want to pay attention to. Like right there, that's a good example of not necessarily attacking them, but how I use that lag to just make me getting my punch easier.
Right.
You're not gonna find another Olimar that does that. I definitely lean on the more aggressive side. So in the last little bit, if you want to wrap it up, we can do a best of 3. And then I'll just give you some closing thoughts, and if you have any other last questions, we can go from there.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Is Olimar a light character?
Yeah, he's the same weight as Pikachu and Kirby.
Oh wow, I know.
He's just very floaty. Oh, yeah, Another thing you definitely want to watch for against Olimar is his lineup, especially. I can give I'll give you a quick rundown of what all the Pikmin do, just so you can just like know ahead of time your fight. When blue is the kill throw,
okay.
they kill with up throw, you want to DI it out and slightly down. I'm talking like barely downwards, but like out and that. It is also a DI mix-up. If you're at the ledge, I can forward throw you, and that is the opposite DI that's in and slightly up, I believe, but mostly in. And that is one of those, like, if you guess wrong because they're both unreactable, you're just going to lose your stock. But in the middle of the stage, definitely the up there. So that's an instance where I had the blue right there. And I probably could have ran a forward smash with any color, really. But it's like you whiff that F tilt, and that is an instance where not even shielding was going to save you because I was able to get that grab. I definitely think going for more, if you want to do like a light hit like that neutral, definitely something like the down tilt of the jab is going to be a bit less committal and provide a similar benefit, I feel.
Go!
But yeah, let me just tell you what the rest of the Pikmin do. Reds hit harder, they're about 1.4 times harder with their smashes and aerials, and have less knockback on throws by a little bit, so they're better for comboing. Always DI down throw out. I really want to encourage that, because if not, you're going to be dying to down throw Rarbare at like 50 to 60, and you don't want that.
Okay.
Purple's hardest hitting ones, they hit 1.6 times harder, and they have less range on grab and some smashes. They have the most health, and they have the side B knockback. Yellows have no damage modifier, but they have 50% larger hitboxes. So like yellow aerials, like back air, forward air, up smash, those are beefy hitboxes that are massive. So you'll get hit when it looks like the Pikmin won't even hit you, especially so with those colors. So you definitely want to watch out for those when you're off stage or something like that. And then whites, they hit weaker on smashes and aerials, but they actually have the most grab range.
Okay.
So like a white pivot grab is really long, and things like that. And then they do the most side B damage. That's the gist of it. Do you have any questions you wanted to ask just to wrap it up?
Anything like fundamentally that I'm doing like a lot that you think is bad and I shouldn't be doing? I guess it's a big question, but like, just like one thing, I guess.
I feel in the neutral, you tend to, or when I'm at like a higher percent, I feel like you get a bit antsy to try and go for these F tilts or things like that. Like you just run F tilt or you'll just do that, and like you've lost quite a few stocks because of that. I would say just try and you can't force those kills. I know it feels weird to just not go for the kill options, and you can definitely make those reads, but don't let yourself get so tunnel visioned in having to land that F tilt or having to land that F smash or something. You know, you've got these safe, good moves with jab, with down tilt, things like that. That even if you're not going to kill them or you mess that up, you kind of put them in disadvantage, or you give yourself another opportunity to do it. Where something like an F tilt or an F smash or something, if you mess that up, then you run the risk of me hitting you with a big punish and taking your stock. So just let yourself play, be more confident in your ability to outplay your opponent, and utilize those safe, those quick tools that you have, and that'll go hand in hand with the like natural response to act when you see an opening, as opposed to having to react. You'll just kind of know that it's like, okay, I went for this jab, it's gonna connect, you know, that type of thing. So you're not having to go, oh, all right, I jabbed, I saw it connect, now I'll go for the back air, because that a lot of times that'll be too slow.
Okay.
Yeah, I will get you this stuff sent to you. If you have any, within about 2 days at max, the document, the video, and all that stuff, because I gotta write it up and I got some other stuff. But if you have any other like one-off questions you ever want to ask me or something, feel free to shoot me a DM. I'm happy to help you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and good luck, man, moving forward. Hoping it helps, but I'll get you this stuff soon.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, bye.